How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. How's the pandemic treating you? How are you liking it? Are you not liking to stay indoors, outdoor person, indoor person?
Yeah, I mean, I'm surviving and I'm just happy that I'll be back at college pretty soon. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Satvik, first, if you could introduce yourself, your school curriculum in India, what is your college name, a little bit about your college, and what year you are in your college.
Yeah, sure. So I went to Dhirubhai Ambani International School. And up till the 10th, I did ICSE. And then for the 11th and 12th, I did the IB. So yeah, that was my school. Um, in the IB, I took physics, chem, and math at the higher level, and English, economics, and Spanish at the standard level. Um, yeah, and I'm at Harvey Mudd, and I'm a sophomore.
Thank you. What is your major currently, and why did you select that major?
So I am a computer science major at Harvey Mudd, and um, I pretty much since like the ninth or 10th grade, I've known that I was really interested in um, CS related things
Mhm.
because I really like problem solving and working with technology, and it really excites me working with like the latest technologies and uh, yeah, just learning more about how computers work because now they're so important to our daily lives. So yeah, I just knew I was going to do CS since a long time. So.
Do you remember what was that one thing that made you sure that yes, this is for me? Like I want to go computer science.
I feel like in the ninth and the 10th when we first like had computer science as a subject in ICSE, like we had some projects and stuff that we had to do. And
Mhm.
while working on that and while programming and coding, I just I could spend hours doing it and not notice, and like I would just get into a flow and would not have an idea what was going on around me. So that's when I realized how much I like it. And yeah, I just knew that I had to do it.
Okay, okay. Why did you choose Harvey Mudd? Like, what was your decisions? What did you consider while making that decision?
Um, so Harvey Mudd is a very niche college, I would say,
Hmm.
and it's a very small college. It only has 800 students in total across all 4 years, and it's only an undergrad college. Um, So I always knew that I wanted like a smaller college because I'm not super outgoing and I usually prefer like smaller learning environments. So that was one thing that was super important to me. So that's why that shortlisted a few colleges in Harvey Mudd. And then I knew I wanted to do computer science. And Harvey Mudd is specializes only in STEM degrees. So all science, technology, and engineering and mathematics related stuff. And so it seemed like a great fit, and I also visited the college before I actually decided I was going to go there. And when I visited the place, I just fell in love with it, and I thought that this was the perfect place. So I applied early decision one to Harvey Mudd, and then I got in. Um, so I didn't end up applying to a lot of other colleges actually.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I mean, how you mod and then doing an ED and getting into your ED, I think that's a top of a feeling. You're always happy and be done with it. Like get yourself free during December and enjoy your last semester knowing that you're already gotten. You just got to maintain your scores now. Enjoy that. I think that's good. Okay, since you've already mentioned about your school subjects, what kind of grades did you get, and if you did any other testings, like for example SATs or English proficiency, etc. APs.
Uh, yeah. So in the IB, I had a predicted of 44. and
Mm-hmm.
that was all that was required. Like that was what I sent when I applied. I took the SAT and the ACT. I got a 1500 on the SAT, and I
Wow.
got 34 on the ACT. Um, yes, those were my standardized tests. I also took three SAT subject tests, math level two, physics and chemistry, and I
Mm-hmm.
got 800s on all of them.
Okay.
I
Brilliant.
also gave the TOEFL, and I got 150 on that. Yeah.
Like all almost perfect scores. Subject test, yes, all perfect scores. So always on top of your class, is it?
Yeah, I guess you could say so. Yeah.
Yeah. 44 out of 45 predicted is really good if you get it. Okay. What did your college profile look like except for essays and the basic thing? Like, what was your extracurriculars look like? What did you add in your profile? How did you make it look?
So I had, because I was really interested in computer science, I had to have activities related to that, showing my interest in it. So I did, like, I worked with a couple of professors. One of them was from IIT Bombay, and I worked with him. He was an aerospace engineering professor. So I worked with him um, to model the flight of these hot air balloon types of objects. And so that
Mhm.
involved a little bit of programming and also understanding of the engineering behind it. I
Mhm.
also worked with a professor from Union College for data visualization and a little bit of statistical analysis.
Okay.
And I also ended up writing like some abstracts of what I did, which was helpful because Harvey Mudd not requires, but they allow you to submit research abstracts, research papers as part of the application.
Okay.
So that was pretty helpful to have. And in addition to that, I also had an internship with a company that was distributing vaccines. Uh, but this was way before COVID. But it was distributing vaccines in parts of Africa and stuff. So I helped them build an RFID tag
Hmm.
scanner app kind of thing, which read vaccine data and
Okay.
submitted it to a website. So
Interesting.
those were my CS related projects. And as part of the IB, we also have the CAS requirement, which requires community service and stuff. So I was part of a project called Across the Road, where we were teaching these underprivileged kids how to do, like how to teaching them basic English, basic math, and yeah, that was in school, and that I was part of that group. Um, yeah, I think that pretty much covers like the main things.
Okay. Okay. What did you write in your Common App essay? That's one thing that scares everybody, every student. Like what to write, how can it be unique? So anything if you could give us with that.
Yeah, sure. So in my Common App, I wrote on the topic of, I think like the essay prompt was something, right, about an event where you faced a setback or a failure or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote about the time when I badly fractured my arm, my right arm, my elbow and my wrist, um, a few years back, and so I basically couldn't do uh, any activities for like almost 2 months
Mm-hmm.
while I was recovering. So that was like a really tough period for me because I couldn't do anything, and yeah, it was like a major event that like helped or like made me deal with a failure, and I guess it kind of uh, made me who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So that was an interesting story that I wrote about in my Common App, and yeah, that's what I wrote.
I think that's very interesting to write about a setback or a failure because that takes a lot of gut and courage to do so. Hats off to you. Kudos to you for that. Um, okay, last few questions here for you. What do you think, or who would you think is a good fit and not a good fit both for Harvey Mudd? Like who should consider Harvey Mudd and who shouldn't consider Harvey Mudd?
So I would say that first of all, you have to be sure that you really like some STEM subject, because if you come to Harvey Mudd, you have to major in a STEM subject.
Mhm.
So you really need to be passionate about something in STEM, even if you're not sure, but you know that you like STEM and you're pretty sure that you're gonna major in a STEM related subject, then that's the first requirement. And then the second requirement, I would say, not a requirement, but a preference would be that you want a small college experience, because it only has 800 students and only like 200 roughly 200 students per year.
Mhm.
So it's a pretty compact class size, but yeah, but it's the sense of community and collaborative spirit that exists in the community is like what defines Harvey Mudd as a place. And so if you really feel like that sort of an environment would benefit you, then it's a really great place. It's amazing at what it does. And yeah, so if you meet those criteria, I guess you could say that you're a great fit. But let's say if you want like a huge college experience and maybe you're not sure about STEM subject, and yeah, if you want like this huge Greek life and stuff like that, then maybe it's not the best place, because Harvey Mudd is small and there's no Greek life and things like that. So yeah, that's how it is.
Okay. Any comments for any you know advice for students for 10th, 11th, and 12th?
I would just say that keep your grades up, at least until you submit your applications, and just keep participating in activities that you're passionate about. Not just don't do things just to put it on your resume, because in most cases the people who read your application, they'll see right through it.
Hmm.
So do things that you're passionate about and just keep your grades up. Yeah, that's it.
I think that's a very, very important learning that you just said. Like, don't just do activities or just don't put in anything. That admission officers reading lakhs and lakhs of profiles and since years, they'll see right through you. You try to fool them. It's not a. Uh, it's not easy. Like you cannot just fool them like that. They have such an experience. Any other experience if you would want to share about your college experience, your college life? What have you experienced or how you mod? Anything interesting you can remember at the moment and you would love to share it with our participants at the moment?
Oh yeah, sure. So I feel like Harvey Mudd has an amazing community, and they're very welcoming, and especially because there were very few kids from India, like
Mm-hmm.
two or three, and there's not that many international students. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, because it's a small college, the percentage of international students is even fewer. But even despite of all that, I felt that the community was very welcoming, and I had no problems in getting settled there. And the professors are absolutely amazing. Um, they always have time for the students, and they're more than happy to work with students, to do research with students. Uh, because it's only an undergrad college,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have any graduate students to work with or focus on, so all the focus is specially directed to the undergraduate students.
Mm-hmm.
So working with professors is not difficult at all, and you can do it at any time. Um, and yeah, it's an amazing place. There also one more important thing is that
Mm-hmm.
Harvey Mudd is part of a consortium of 5 colleges in Claremont.
Right.
So because there's these 5 colleges and Harvey Mudd specializes only in STEM mainly, you you can still take classes at all these other 4 colleges,
Mm-hmm.
and you can even major in those other on those other campuses too, in
Right.
humanities subject, let's say. So I feel like it offers the best of both worlds,
Mm-hmm.
just because it's situated in this consortium. And so yeah, you can do both humanities and the best of STEM uh, at Harvard. So yeah, it's a great place.
That's a major, major combination. Okay. Thank you, Satvik, for being here, taking your time out. There are a few questions for you over here. And if you can stick around for like 5-10 minutes, type your answer in there, answer for them. Um, and probably I'll move on with Karan. He's already here, can't, he's all excited and geared up to do his slot. So I think if you can stick around and answer um, the questions that are there for you, if you scroll down to the end of the chat Q&A, there are a few
Yeah,
questions for
sure.
you.
Sure, I'll answer the questions, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for taking your time out.